Okay, good afternoon. First of all, here's my picture for the day. Myself giving a lecture at the Dakota Unitarian Fellowship back in 2002, shortly after 9/11, when I talked about the threats to liberty, and took 38 minutes. They didn't like the length of time I took. But anyway, let me just update you on what's going on. I'm trying to update the Camtasia that I'm working on with the Snagit, the screen recorder for 2023, and the instructions from TechSmith are quite complicated. If you don't know, this is like in the workplace when you have a product that is very good with productivity, enables you to do a lot very quickly. But you have to know a lot about the product, how to install it before you learn how to use it to get its productivity. Whereas if you work with iMovie or work with Final Cut Pro, particularly Final or Adobe, some of the other things, you work separately with the different pieces, and they may be easier to work with at first, but they may be more work than using something like Camtasia to get a video out quickly. So you have to, like in the workplace with fourth generation languages on the mainframe like 30 years ago, it takes a certain investment in learning, a learning curve, to learn how to use something efficiently that has its own internal structure. So this is back to reminding me of the workplace again. Well, we'll figure out. I got Snagit 2023 loaded, but then it said the key was wrong. So I'm still in the 2022 version. It keeps on once in a while prompting me to upgrade, but then I can't seem to get it done. But I might have to call them about this. But anyway, I just wanted to also say that next week I will probably start trying to build a sort of a video or picture framework of the entire screenplay that I would write. I've submitted the material, to iUniverse, but I'm going to show you how, with the pictures I have and with narrative, I'm going to kind of give you what the setups would be and what the signposts would be for the various parts of the screenplay, related to Harmon circles and so forth, and the story itself, and what the theme, confined spaces, the military, the college dorms, and even today would be. I'm going to try to probably be about an hour's worth of video where I give the detailed, along with pictures of the settings where it happened, where I give the details as to how I would actually do it if I was doing it myself. So that'll be next week. I just wanted to also note, adding on to the other video that I made earlier this week, the two biggest problems I have with my own moral capital are that, first of all, when I was living with my mother, came back from Minnesota in the start of September of 2023 and was with her 7 years in the house, I didn't do as much to prove I could pick up my own ability to earn a living again and not depend on her, and she was well off, but as I should have, either learning to work in a regimented job or doing something with a life insurance background, being able to sell things essentially, even though I was a techie and worked alone, or maybe becoming a tax preparer. The substitute teaching, the long story short is that there was problems disciplining students because of my personality, but also because my publicity online eventually interfered with it, given the sensitivity of the subject matter, that I had written about in my books. It eventually became a problem. That's a long story, and that's another screenplay. The other thing is I've not taken on any dependents. In 2016, there was talk that I might be able to help with the asylum seeker issue. That was when Trump was running for office, but hadn't yet won, and then he won, but into 2017, but that never quite worked out. And then there were certain issues with the house. I wound up selling it, and I'm in a condo now. The idea of somehow indirectly sponsoring someone with one of my beneficiaries on the trust is still on the table. It's possible that could happen sometime, but there isn't anything directly right now. But those are just, if I had more moral credibility, I would not be as threatened by or feel as uneasy about the sustainability of the way I work, wanting to be very independent, like a lone wolf. You somehow have to have your skin in the game eventually. So that's the thought for today.